Hey, Facebook, you are live with Glenn and Kevin on the Kingdom Effect. This is our weekly live discussion about the episode we just dropped Tuesday morning. And this morning, we dropped the episode with Judd Granzo. We were talking about pornography and the effects it has on our culture and ultimately how it fuels human trafficking. But before we get into that, Kevin, how's your week going, man?
Man, it's cold. It's been cold this week. But hey, before we even talk about that, we should talk about your facial hair, man. I don't think we've done
Oh,
that on a Facebook Live except for on the episode.
yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think so far? Are you going to keep it off, or
I don't know, man. Honestly, the jury is still out on that one. I'm
yeah,
getting like it's 50-50.
yeah,
Half the people say, "What were you thinking?" And then the other half are like, that's the way to go.
yeah,
So I'm kind of. It's been a few days since I shaved, so
yeah? It's
'cause,
funny after you've seen it just a really, really short period of time, you kind of get used to it. So when
yeah.
you first see someone that shaves, you're like, "What in the world?"
What
And then
happened?
yeah, then it kind of settles in pretty quickly. So.
Hey, we could take a let's take
Oh, yeah.
a
Take a
survey
poll.
of our listeners. Let us know, beard or no beard. Just
Awesome.
shoot us a comment. Let us know what you think. Oh, we got a chat already. Here we go. Oh, it's my daughter. Hey, Dad.
Hey, cool. How's your
Yeah.
daughter? How did your daughter like your new do?
They're both still they were shocked. My youngest, believe it or not, likes it the least.
Yeah.
So that
That's
is. Oh, Aubrey said no beard.
no beard. Keep it like it
There
is.
we go. My oldest has voted.
All right, Aubrey, you carry a lot of weight in this voting process. So.
Oh man. Um. Yeah. So you guys keep. Oh, here we go. Man, she just keeps throwing it on here.
Yeah, I agree. You do look like a totally different person.
Yeah. The question is a totally different person better than the old? That's the thing.
Well,
I don't
Aubrey
know.
says yes.
She does. The beard just kind of I don't know, like when I shaved it, I'm like, man, what is all this down here?
Yeah.
All this business. It kind of hit it away. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Once you do it though, you got to keep it short, or it'll start itching really bad, right? So
Yeah,
you.
I was actually looking at beard trimmers today, like electric ones, because I don't like razor shaving every day because it just irritates my skin, my face.
Hmm.
And I was looking at one that you could it, like if you shaved with it, it would put you like where I'm at right now today.
Yeah.
Like
Right. Hmm.
leave just a day or two's worth of growth on there. So,
Yeah.
but you know what? I get on Amazon and read the reviews, and it's 50-50, man. I have such a hard time buying stuff. I'm one of those people that researches the heck out of stuff I buy.
Yeah. That's cool.
So you guys got, I guess, a little bit more snow than we got here in
Yeah.
Jackson, West Tennessee.
Yeah. It was really weird. Like it was kind of like mixed rain and snow for the first day, the first whole day, and then overnight it kind of froze a little bit, and then started snowing. But it was like just sloppy. It was just a nasty sloppy snow. You couldn't do anything with it. You couldn't sled. It was just one of those. So, but we still have a lot of snow. Like even driving up here, that was piled up on the side of the road. So
Mm.
it's fun for the kids. The kids love it. The kids were out of school again today, so that's all they care about.
Oh wow, yeah. Did you
Yeah,
see the comment I left on your Facebook page?
I didn't. What did it say?
I think your wife posted a picture of your daughter, and it said, "Guess who made the dean's list?" And I put, "Not Kevin."
Oh, brutal. Just brutal.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
it was
man.
kind of fun. It's kind of fun to have, some snow. So I think that's three times already this year. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I
It's
have a hard
global
time.
warming. Global
Yeah.
warming that's doing it to us.
Well, believe it or not, man, I have a Jeep SUV, not the Wrangler, but the bigger one. and it's an older model, so it's really lightweight, and it's just 2-wheel drive, unfortunately. And I can't get down the street. Like my
Okay.
wife's minivan does better on the ice than my Jeep
But the Jeep is so
SUV.
cool, though. It's just so cool. Like,
It is cool. It's missing the headliner.
it's so much cool factor there. What year is it?
93, I think it
Yeah.
is.
So, man, can you believe that? 93, 03, 13, almost 30 years old. That's hard to believe,
Yeah,
isn't it? That's
I guess
crazy.
is it after 25 years? It's a
Yeah.
classic.
20 or 25. So you definitely have a vintage automobile you drive around. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, did you see? I don't know. Side note, but you may have seen it on Facebook. But Scott Horde just texted me a few minutes ago and said they saved their 360th baby at
I
Plain
did. I
Panther
saw
today.
that.
So
I'm
it's
assuming
awesome.
that photo was the lady.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
That
it's
was yeah, yeah,
so cool
yeah.
to see
That's really
that.
cool. That's like what? That's like almost 10 since we had him on the show.
Yeah. I think there was we kind of tried to figure out 2021, and I think he had about 140 in 2021. So that's about average almost 3 a week. So it's uh
Mm,
it's amazing, isn't it? Pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's really cool, man. Hey, so for those of you that are got a gnat, for those of you that are just tuning in, we're taking an online poll here: beard or no beard for Buckley. So far, the no beards are winning. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. If I have a vote, I'd definitely have to say beard.
you think
Sorry.
so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
Sorry,
just
Aubrey.
there's so much of my persona was in my beard.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's kind of like I feel like Samson. Delilah cut my beard off, and I lost all my superpower.
Yeah. It really was pretty cool. It kind of complemented your tattoos.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, cool,
yeah.
man. What'd you think about the episode that we dropped this morning? We had Judd Granzo, who spent years just kind of helping guys who were addicted to porn, and it got to him pretty hard a couple years ago. So he had to take a little break, and he's kind of on his way back into trying to create another ministry to work with guys. But a couple of years on the radio, a couple of years in church work, a couple of years as a professional ball player. So he's had quite a history. But man, what do you think? What were your thoughts?
Man, it was a really interesting episode. It was really fun for me because that topic's in my wheelhouse. And so but Judd was an awesome guy. He really knew his stuff, and
Mhm.
it's rare to meet somebody who is fighting that fight like he is. And he's really one of the, other than law enforcement, he's really one of the only people I've ever met that's really kind of on the front lines of that. So it was really cool to get to meet him, and hopefully, that relationship will turn into something where we can go and speak at some of his stuff and things like that. But definitely something that it's definitely a topic. I think you pointed out at the beginning of the episode that it's a really tough topic. It's hard to talk about. It's hard to listen to. It's hard to have conversations with other people about that topic. But I think if you are somebody that's out there that has no idea what that industry is about
Yeah.
and kind of the danger of stepping into that world, it's definitely an episode you want to listen to.
Mhm.
Definitely one to listen to if you're wanting to have conversations with your kids about it. We didn't go into that a whole lot as to like how to do that, but maybe that's a future episode where we can kind of coach people, how to initiate that conversation with their kids.
Yeah. I love the teaser. We always kind of pull out one little 30-second clip to put up front. And man, the way that whole thing started, nobody ever expects to go that far,
Mm,
So it's kind of that downward spiral of just testing the waters, and it's kind of like sharks in the water tasting blood. We watched this. I can't believe we did this with some of my kids, not all of them, but I had a friend in town, and his favorite movie is Sharknado. So like a couple weekends ago, the whole family sat around and watched Sharknado together. And but just that whole concept of like when the shark tastes the blood, he goes crazy. And like that's the way it is with guys, is like we open up doors that shouldn't be opened, and it usually takes us farther than we want to go, and by the grace of God, I think the majority of us don't go as far as others do, like what we were talking about with getting into the hardcore and even all the way to bestiality and children pornography, but the potential's there. The potential to be drug into that is there. So
Well,
the more you,
it's like any other drug. When you go to smoke weed the first time, you don't have the intent to move on up the ladder and start doing harder drugs and lose your house and your family and your health. Like you don't, the first time you do drugs, that's not in the forefront of your mind. And it's, we say porn's a drug, and so it's just like any other drug. And all it takes is that first hit, that first try, and you can get addicted. It's kind of like, I kind of like to think of it as like kind of like Thomas's illustration a few weeks ago with the cliff. You might could get exposed to it and you're right on the edge of the cliff already, and it pushes you the rest of the way off into addiction. Or it could be something where it takes a little time to get you there. But either way, it's danger, big danger signs, no matter what you're.
Yeah. And I think different people are vulnerable at different levels, but also in addition to that, different life stages and different experiences we go through in life make you more or less vulnerable. So, you could be less vulnerable today, but like 6 weeks down the road, you could experience grief or, exhaustion or burnout, and it just makes you more vulnerable, So, hey, Daniel, how you doing, buddy? For those of you who don't know, Daniel is just commented on the live, and he is the director, the relatively new executive director of Saving, Operation Saving Life, which is Scott Hord's organization that he founded. So, welcome and glad to have you. And we were just talking about Scott Hord just a few minutes ago, and the fact that he saved baby number 360 today, which is awesome. So, congratulations for all the great work that you guys are doing.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, Daniel. I got to meet Daniel too via Zoom. Was it last week?
Yeah, it was. Yep. I think so.
And awesome guy. Of course, you guys know Operation Saving Life is an awesome organization that we stand behind, Kevin and I both personally and as a podcast. So, man, Daniel, thanks for tuning in, brother, as always.
5 more babies saved, and you guys can say you've saved the equivalent of a baby a day for a year. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. On leap year, what would leap year be? Do you lose a day on leap year?
No, you gain a day.
Gain a day. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, but back to what we were talking about. We don't really things that's going on inside your mind and your emotions and your life can make you more vulnerable to going deeper down the rabbit hole when it comes to pornography.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. So, you may take pride in the fact that you haven't been vulnerable at some point in your life, but you never know what tomorrow holds. So, and it's that way with everything, drugs and alcohol. I really never, I don't have like a religious thing against alcohol, and, I might occasionally have a drink, but I never really taken too much alcohol because my dad was an alcoholic, and I've never created a time in my life where I made myself vulnerable, extremely vulnerable to alcohol. So, yeah, it's kind of the same way. I think you really have to protect yourself and your family from the dangers of pornography.
Yeah. And if you're a guy, girl, teenager, whomever, and you've watched the podcast, you've watched this live right here, or you've listened to the podcast, and it's, pornography is something that you struggle with personally, please feel free to reach out to Kevin and I, either on our personal Facebook pages, on the Kingdom Effect Facebook page. We have a Kingdom Effect email address. I'll put that out here in just a second. But, just reach out to us if you've got questions. If it's something you're struggling with and you would like for us to help find you somewhere to get plugged in for help, please do that. And we talked about in the podcast that's a shameful thing to have to admit to somebody, but just remember, Kevin and I may or may not know you at all. We may just be friends on Facebook or if that. And secondly, Kevin and I will most certainly keep any communication with you guys like that confidential.
Yeah, and also the great lie is that you're the only one that's struggling, or that it's not common for men to struggle. I'm not ashamed to say, and I'm sure Buckley feels the same way, that to say that all men struggle at some level, including me and Buckley, and even the guys on the front line have a lot of times the reason they're on the front line of an issue is because they've struggled with it. So that's part of just being a community, and being iron sharpens iron is just being willing to share with each other. So, yeah, happy to talk to anybody that needs to talk for sure.
Matter of fact, we're even planning. Kevin and I and some buddies of ours are planning a gas trip in March. It's just good for us to get out there and as guys and men and just hang out and have some of those conversations that you don't necessarily have over the phone or text messages or things like that. There's something about being in the woods and around a campfire that just opens guys up. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, for sure. There's no place for a guy to talk like the campfire. So
yeah,
that's any guy will tell you that too. Like I hear guys say that all the time. It's like if you really want to have serious conversations, get together at night around a campfire. So
it's kind of weird because it's conversations. Campfire for the conversations, but I always come up with my best ideas when I'm either in the shower or on the toilet.
That's right. Same kind of thing for sure.
Well, there's our email address down there, guys. If you want to reach out to us via email. And here's something I like to know. You guys that are listening, or maybe you're coming back and rewatching this, you didn't get a chance to catch it live, but let us know, comment if you would like us to put out another episode where we kind of coach you guys on how to initiate conversations with your kids and things like that on this topic. And man, we'd love to do that because that's a hard conversation to have with your children. Yeah. And a lot of us that have children now, our parents may not have even had that conversation with us. So we don't even have anything to model that after. Mm-hmm. And so we'd love to help you, figure that out because it's not the same. It's not going to be the same for everybody, but, we can help you map that out and help you walk through that, having that conversation with your kids. So please let us know if that's something that if you guys like to see an episode on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're just joining in, we dropped the episode this morning on pornography and its effect on culture. And we also just had a lot of focus because of our two guests on how it also impacts human trafficking. One thing that's helpful for us, we love having you on the actual live broadcast that we do on Monday nights, but if you can download it too on one of your podcast platforms, that's a huge help to help us, climb the what would you call that? The
algorithm?
Algorithm ladder, right?
Yeah.
The nasty algorithm ladder. So we would really appreciate if you could download it on your favorite podcast platform, and also just leave us a review real quick if you like the episode. Be honest, if you don't like it, you can review a lower, but any reviews help. So that would be super helpful.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right, man. I think that pretty much covers.
We got to tell them what's coming up. What's next?
Oh, yeah. What's next? So coming up next Tuesday, we'll be dropping an episode. We're interviewing a buddy of mine. His name is Eric Bausch. And Eric and I have been friends for 20 plus years. And he works as a counselor at a local nonprofit here called Youthtown. And what Youthtown does is they take it's teenage boys, I would say 12 to 17, and recently girls, but they started out taking boys. that were struggling with drug addiction and getting in trouble and getting arrested and going to court. And they have uh, this probably isn't the term he would use. It sounds too medical or too institutional, but they're, kind of some inpatient recovery through there. And Eric's one of the counselors. Anyway, Eric's like me. He loves the outdoors. He's a real, masculine, kind of man. And he and his wife in their spare time do private counseling, marriage counseling, things like that. So he's a really cool guy. You guys are really going to love him. He's got a son that is in the Marine Corps, and he's in the process of doing his force recon training. And I got to meet him over Christmas break. Got a really cool story about that we'll tell next week on the episode. So Kevin, don't let me forget to bring that story up.
Awesome.
This week.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah. So guys, just remember, like, share, and comment, and we will see you guys next week.